that, we are shifting our focus to the Middle East in particular. We're now learning that those advocating for the lives of hostages in Gaza are staging protests as part of a day of disruption to highlight the plight of the 48 people who have been abducted and to call for an end to the war, and also calling for Netanyahu to strike a deal in order to bring the hostages home. Now, according to reports, activists have set up multiple recycling bins on fire near Netanyahu's residence in Jerusalem. As per the police, the bins and the tires were torched, damaging several cars in Rehavia and Givatram neighborhoods. Several residents were evacuated from nearby buildings. However, nobody has been hurt. The fire and rescue teams have doused in fact the fires, and have stated that lighting fire in public places is illegal and irresponsible and could put people in danger. Meanwhile, in the capital region, dozens of demonstrators, including members of the Brothers and Sisters in Arms group, have gathered outside the residence of Strategic Affairs Minister Dermer, accusing him of failing to secure the return of a single captive since becoming Israel's chief negotiator. With us on the broadcast is Mr. Ali Mohammed Abushbak. He's an independent Palestinian researcher joining us from Cairo. Thank you for taking out time, speaking to us once again as we track these developments from the Middle East. There is a lot of pressure that Netanyahu is facing domestically. These days of disruption are continuing. It's not just pressure that is being mounted on the international front, but now people within Israel are also frustrated with Netanyahu. The original goal, as put forth by him, was to bring back the hostages, but the war has now dragged on for more than 2 years. Yet he seems to only be escalating further and further. Do you think he will yield to this pressure? Because it does not seem to stop there. His government does not have total majority anyways. So do you think the threat to the Likud party and its coalition being in power could make Netanyahu change his mind, or will that not happen?
Thank you, Pia, for having me. The situation, in fact, in the Israeli front, and especially inside the community, the Israelis community, it's volatile. It's going, and I guess, change the game nowadays. And the rule of the game changed after the chaos happened in Jerusalem. And we have witnessed several of protests that taking the street in Tel Aviv and today in Jerusalem in different places and a different location. One of them near the Knesset, the Israeli parliament, as well as the National Library and near the Benjamin Netanyahu's residential. So that's these kind of a protest to send a message to Benjamin Netanyahu and his far right-wing coalition that the Israeli community, frustrated of their lives, frustrated of their policy on the ground. Israel is losing the international community support, is losing its historical supporter and historical friendship. So this, and also no doubt about the Israeli image damage during this phase of war and this phase of conflict. The brutal of Israel, it's clear for the international community as well as for the activists. So today they talk the violence and they talk a chaos action, the repel action. So this evaluated the situation in Israel and also the evaluation this maybe divided the Israeli community. Maybe we will see a fighting between the pro-Benjamin Netanyahu and the anti-Benjamin Netanyahu. Benjamin Netanyahu is trying to maintain his coalition, the ugly face of the Israeli, the right-wing, the far right-wing Israelis coalition between Benjamin Netanyahu, Smotrich, and Ben Gvir. So this is creating a division between the Israel, despite the Lapid giving opportunity and the golden opportunity for Benjamin Netanyahu to reach to the deal with Hamas and release around 48 Israeli captives from Gaza. They are suffering like the Palestinians from Gaza. They are suffering from the starvation and malnutrition. We have seen several footage that released from Al-Qassam Brigade that showing the Israeli captive how much they lose their weight due to the Israelis restrict to allow to the humanitarian aid to into Gaza and the essential food to enter to Gaza and the element as well as. So, Pia, about the optimistic, the atmosphere is pessimistic. Benjamin Netanyahu is not going to sit back for his strategy and his policy to occupy Gaza, and he doesn't care about the Israelis captive. Despite that, daily we are hearing from the news that there is a several of Israeli commander in Gaza. They lost their life within a fighting with Hamas brigade and the Palestinian resistance group. At least we hear around 2 to 5 Israeli soldiers they killed during the fight with Hamas. So that's make a sure for the civilians from Israel that Benjamin Netanyahu he doesn't care about the life of civilians as well as the Israeli soldier. Also from the Israelis, Israeli militant group, they are also there is a division with regard to the operation on the ground. The chariot, Gadian's chariot, the second phase of Gadian chariots would consider it as a failed, and there is no success for this operation in Gaza.
All right.
Also, we have seen how much Donald Trump lambasted yesterday Benjamin Netanyahu's behavior, and he called them as a failure in PR. Obviously, they are failed and they lost all the international community. Now Israel is fighting alone because of the personal purpose. Israelis community, I mean, they are unsure and they have a confirm about the purpose of Benjamin Netanyahu to maintain his regime and to maintain his sizing the power in Israel instead of going to the court for his corruption and for cases and for his bad behavior in the Israeli community. Yeah, yeah.
Indeed. So I request you to stay on with us. We're tracking more developments from the Middle East. We're now learning that the Israel Defense Forces have stated that the Israeli Air Force has intercepted a missile